Cheers and enjoy the beers. Yes, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world, and welcome once again back to the channel with me, Disco, coming at you live with some more live beer reviews sat in front of the cans and bottles here on the bar, what I'm still sessionably calling the Disco Arms, and it is a little bit of a celebration today, albeit a belated one, as I've got the custard beers. Welcome to the Custard Session. All beers from Turning Point Brew Co. Them. This is their annual release in April, their birthday beers. And as usual, I'm well late to the party, but not as late as last year, seeing as I only did last year's beer in the beginning of April, a few weeks before the new ones came out. So these are the new ones for 2025. And let's dive straight in, plenty to get through today. So let's dive in straight to beer. Oh, hang on, steady. Beer number one, please. And beer number one is kind of the beer that started it all, the base beer, Yellow Matter Custard. If shit would focus, come on. Hello. Why are we blurry? That's not right. What's going on? Well, welcome along everybody to the blurry stream. Mr. Wilson, hello, welcome aboard, and of course, hopper in. How the devil are you both doing? There we go. We seem to focus now. So let's get this into a glass. Yeah, so for those that watched my live show at the beginning of April, I think it was, I was going to do these on a video, as a standalone video. I've never yet got around to doing these on a standalone video, I don't think. Just done them either live or written reviews over on Instagram. 1 year, maybe. 1 year I'll get around to writing to Turning Point and saying, do you want to pop back on the channel for a beer and a chat about them? Because they're not shy of a little bit of media. They've been on our Instagram a while back. It still does that. I don't know if there's a thing there that says shake the can, but it did it last time. But there's a lot of bitty bits in the bottom of that. But as Mr. Wilson has reminded us for the photo, we'll do that right away. Yeah, so vanilla custard pale ale for this one, 6%. It's funny because vanilla is a flavour I always somewhat tired of saying, a bit like grapefruit. But yeah, no, vanilla is a flavour in beer that, alongside coconut, I really so rarely actually get. It's just not there for me. It's just a little bit of sweetness usually. Phone camera's playing silly bugger, so bear with whilst I fill laboriously. So yeah, kind of custard colour in the glass. Quite a dark yellow. Looks good though. Frothy white head. Coffee's persisting. I am working on that. Yeah, looks good. Looks good. But yes, the first in the series, the base beer, as it were, is the Yellow Matter Custard. Nice to have all three and the sticker to wear when you finish all three. Yes, indeed. I think it'll be fairly easy job to get through these. Yesterday's beers were fairly easy to get through, and I really enjoyed doing the write-ups and thinking about those beers again. Challenging though they were, less challenging on these three, I think, probably. Maybe the 11% stout, but I don't think it'd be particularly challenging in any way. So yeah, I've had these beers. I was trying to look through the Instagram, but they're so far back now on the grid. I think I've had these pretty much every year they've come out. I think they missed out 2022. Can't work out if they started in 20 or 21. The yellow matter custard always seems to remain the same, and the other two change around a bit. For the first 2 years, it was just pink matter custard. And then they've started messing about with sort of vaguely pink red flavorings, and this one is rhubarb this year. Last year was cherry bubblegum, which was a bit odd. I had another one of those last week, just off camera, because I needed to get through them. I have got last year's custard to get through as well. But let's get into this one, see what we think. I'm sure most people have already had these if they're gonna bother with Turning Point. Oh, I know Mr. Wilson went out and had them on his local on draft. But yeah, that's custard. All right, on the nose for me. Yeah, definitely nice, sweet. Again, still not much vanilla particularly, but definitely custard. Smells of pure yellow. Cheers. And yeah, happy birthday, Turning Point. Lovely. Interesting really to drink them fresh. There is, from memory of last month's live stream, there is a little bit of a difference. This is feels a much smoother, much more balanced across that kind of custard and pale ale kind of maltiness. A bit easier drinking. It seemed to have separated out over the 10 months or so that I had the last lot. Well, we'll have to have a look at that other can. I'm not going to do it here because it'll just be a waste. But yeah, much smoother. There is a little roughness around the edges as was on last year's. But this has fairly constantly stayed much the same each year. Yeah, it's just nice, sweet, custardy pale ale. I like it. I think the first time I had it, this feels like the first time I had it, it was the same amount of freshness as I'm drinking this one. I normally leave like hoppy beers and quite happily leave hoppy beers for that hop note to fade. Here is a good example of why not to do that, not because of hop fade, but just that slight custardy sweetness. It is a thick-bodied beer, but not proper gloopy thick, custard thick, like some of those dippers I was drinking last week. But it's got a good solid body to it. A lovely aroma, which helps the flavour as well. You enjoyed all three, David? Nice one. This one, my second favourite of the three. That's interesting. I have a feeling I think for me, it'll probably between this and the stout. I do like rhubarb, but sometimes it can be a bit too sharp for my liking. But that custard should cut through that and balance it up a bit, I'm guessing. Let's see what we get onto with that one. You didn't get the stout. Yeah, that was in the Disco Royalty box. Just see, and a sticker. You got a sticker. Yeah, I got. Oh, I forgot to check. I got leaflets as well that I was going to read from. I think they're in the bottom of the box, but preferred the yellow matter custard. Fair play. I think probably I do, especially like this. Like I say, when it's got that freshness to it. I mean, it's 3 weeks. Still, that's pretty fresh. Love the fruitness, the sweetness. There is a little bit of fruit in the background there as well. I instantly imagine it to be banana, like banana and custard. Not sure why, but there is that feel of that kind of slight banana-y, slight Hefeweizen-y note to it in a way. Come back. We froze a little bit there, didn't we? Don't know what happened, but in the meantime, Remedy, Paul, how you doing? Thanks for popping in. How about this one for some stupidity in beer? Custard pale ale. White on yellow is very difficult for my dodgy eyes to read. The original custard beer, except no substitutes. There's not that many people doing custard beers, but yeah, this is the original and the best, I guess. Sweet, chewy, and loads of fun. This pale ale is loaded with vanilla, wheat, and lactose. As close as you can get to custard without your eyes getting wet. Hopper, did you write this for them? Sounds like something you'd write. Yeah, not too much other info on them. I doubt there's very much in the way of hopping this. Custard Sessions 2025. 6%, like we say. Yeah, solid beer. Well, talking of hopper, I'm going to do this because it amused me. It really amused me. Oh, here we go. Yes.
Right then, beer nerds and flavour fuckers, it's unboxing time. Today, I'm unzipping my flies and diving balls first into Turning Point's May 2025 Disco Royalty Box. A 6-pack of liquid madness, each one with its own ridiculous personality. Now, just to be clear, this box has nothing to do with the Just Disco beer review on YouTube. The guy may be a bloody legend with a 17-inch penis, but he doesn't make these beers. Regardless, I've whacked a link to his channel in the description. Go give him a watch and a big wet sloppy subscribe. Now let's see what's in this box, and then I'll run through each one in a little more detail and give my flavour expectations.
Well, yeah, there we go. That's the start of it. Obviously, link to that accordingly. I was shouting out Hopper. I'm still not going to play the Hopper anthem because I've not lined it up. And I believe so I didn't choose reader-friendly colours on the cans. No, either with the white writing, it needs to be a bit more black so you can see as well. Tom, how you doing, sir? Happy damn Tuesday. Yellow Lives Matter. Custard, nice one. Yeah, diving into the custard beers. Jamie, good evening to you as well. I've been doing all right on a Tuesday evening. Let me know if you've got a beer alongside this one. Doesn't have to be a custard beer, of course, or a Turning Point one for that matter. As long as you're drinking along, or if you're not a problem. Do let me know what you're drinking, if at all. This will not last long in a glass. Looks fairly decent. A little bit of lacing. Do you know what I got there? A little bit of a spirity edge. I don't know whether that's psychosomatic and I'm thinking Advocar or what, but it was just a little bit of that there. It's not massively strong at 6%, but it's not a massively strong tasting beer alcohol-wise. 6%. There's a little bit of a spirity edge on there. Just amongst all the sugar and the sweetness as well, I think, a little bit. Yeah, I'll put a link in the description afterwards. Whilst you're there, actually, do I remember rightly, if I watch to the end of that, you've got a discount code for Turning Point? I seem to remember I should, rather than play it all, I just send everybody to go over and have a look. I believe there's a 10% discount code from Hopper for Turning Point. They've got some new beers out today. Indeed, right, yeah, so go over and watch to the end of that video. It's easy to find. You don't need the link, just type in Hopper Reviews and you'll find it. And 10% discount code, which I saw obviously 2 weeks after I bought the box. No jealousy whatsoever, it's all good. Yeah, if I could actually get my head around all that stuff and go and ask Turning Point for a discount code, I might be able to do that as well. But yeah, use Hoppers if you want to buy some buy some Turning Point. As I say, they got some other beers out today, and I'll tell you what else I saw from Turning Point. I wasn't going to do this too early, but here we go. I saw this on Instagram yesterday from somebody else, but so today a release of a beer very close to my heart that I've had several times, and I think reviewed certainly over on Instagram. A beer called Gravediggers Biscuits, a espresso martini stout, coming in at 8.4. I think is their base. Their base stout. All their stouts seem to be about 8.4, even the certainly the adjuncted ones. And this is espresso martini stout, but now available in Asda. I don't know about the pricing, and I've got to do a bit of a trek to Big Asda, but that's again a big beer, but it's also matching the other Yorkshire giants like Northern Monk and Vocation being in supermarkets with big stouts. Disco King, of course, is already in supermarkets, so they're a little bit turning to the dark side, you might say, but also for a brewery of that size, getting a supermarket deal and getting a supermarket deal with an existing beer. Because I seem to remember Gravediggers Biscuits was, sure it was 5-6 quid. So to get it down, they haven't announced it massively apart from this small post. I don't know if they're going to do something else, but I do like Gravediggers Biscuits, so I might be trekking to Asda. Do another supermarket sweep live at some point, maybe. But yeah, if you see Gravediggers Biscuits about from Turning Point in Asda, I would recommend it. I don't know what they've done to get it down into Asda's pricing structure, whether it's still as good as it was. I'd have to go back and compare it to the old reviews, maybe. Whilst I talk about that, yeah. So, yeah, last year, as well as this year, completely waiting far too long to do these beers. I did the same last year. So last year's 2024 birthday Custard Session was actually the 2023 beers. Let's see then, quickly, what I said then. Yeah, so last year's beers on live show 69. It could be stored for a year. Well, if I remember rightly, it worked out last year. I'm just going to have a go and have a quick. I've not looked back at that last stream last year. Yeah, so I did that on a Thursday night. The new beers, these beers got released on the Friday, and I put the order in, and then just never really got around. Oh no, my bad. This is last month. Well, actually, the month before, 19th of March. So, that's what I said about the year-old version of this beer. Custard Pale Ale. It's definitely a good custard colour. Not as thick as custard. I'm sure Beak do a beer called custard. I think they want to do one called mustard. But yeah, pale straw, lemony yellow colour to the naked eye, a bit darker on the screen, but not really thick as custard. Quite see-through, to be fair. A lot of bits floating around, but we don't let minor details like that bother us, do we? Yeah. Cheers and happy belated birthday, Turning Point. Oh yeah. Bit of vanilla, sweet vanilla custard on the nose. I don't normally get vanilla tasting things. I say this, and every time I do a vanilla one. But yeah, 2024 Custard Sessions. So yeah, cheers. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't seem too. Oh, there's the custard. There's a little bit of custard. Yeah. I tell you what, the sort of custard, bananas and custard. No actual banana, but that kind of sort of texture. It's definitely a good custard taste. The custard is there. I don't know why I'm getting banana and custard. It used to be a good dessert, very cheap, but you know. Nice. Well, there we go. I'd watched that, and I said bananas and custard last time, so less or so on that one, I guess. But it has, got that kind of consistency. Still, so that was last year's beers this year. And it seems really from that a little bit of general consistency. I did notice I completely messed up the glassware. Should have put it in the McColl's glass, but never mind. What can you do? And then there is there's this one from the previous year. Last year's in the new live show part 3, when I did the previous year's beer once again.
Vanilla. I know what vanilla tastes like, or I think I do, I guess, from ice cream. And it never really tastes like that, but let me dive in. Cheers. Evening, Beer Dog. Can't say always have to be up to work for free. Fair enough. Thanks for popping in and saying hello. I guess you won't be on any beers in that case. Would it be better if it was rhubarb and custard? Well, there's 1 or 2 rhubarb and custard pails knocking about. If you've seen the lineup, you'll see it's a raspberry. It's called pink matter custard, so it's a raspberry and custard, which isn't necessarily as much of a known combination as, say, rhubarb and custard. You're right. I'm never sure about rhubarb either, but I don't think it would be better. I think it would be just as good as the pink matter custard. There's nothing wrong with that beer. I feel there might have been a little bit of separation of ingredients, but it's not a hoppy beer anyway, so there was no real hop content to it as far as I remember, and it therefore isn't now. The hops haven't died. But there's a good balance across it. There's a good kind of sweet flavour without being like sticky or particularly artificial. There's a little bit of fruit in the background there as well. That was a bit odd, but so yeah. I didn't realise I'd said much the same thing 2 years ago as well, but there you go. So yeah, that little fruit background turned out to be a little bit banana, kind of yeastiness maybe. And both those were drinking almost year-old beers, so it's definitely, I haven't had this one fresh, worth getting them fresh to get that soft, pillowy voluptuousness of the body. Excuse me. But yeah, so easy drinking, that one. Really nice if you like that sort of thing. Quite a sweet beer, so a lot of people say they don't like sweet beers. I've never had a beer that's too sweet for me yet, and that one certainly isn't. So, as funny enough, in that last clip there where Luke John was talking about would it be better with raspberry, and I think, if I remember rightly, David Wilson, you said would raspberry and would rhubarb and custard work? And I think you said that on that live show the day before the announcement of the new lot, these ones, rhubarb and custard. So with that in mind, obviously, let's move on to beer number 2, please. And it is, of course, a rhubarb matter custard. A rhubarb and custard pale ale, still at 6%. So I'm guessing the same base kind of formula as that. Interested to see the colour on this one. Last one, the cherry was massive red notes. This one pours out a little thin on the redness, to be fair. It needs a little shake just to get all the thickness coming out. See, it comes through a bit better now. After that, there's a little bit of settle on that one. I don't normally do that. I normally just pour it straight out and be done with it. But I think it requires it on that one. So yeah, yeah, deep red colour. Again, nice and thick. Soft, slightly bubbly ahead on that one. Let's go straight into the photo as always. Yeah, so it looks good in the glass. A very different red to last year's. I'll show you that in a minute if I can. But looks like, to me anyway, that kind of juice you get at the bottom of a rhubarb crumble. My nan used to make rhubarb crumbles among other fruits. Rhubarb was never particularly my favourite. I always found it a little bit tart. But it did the job. You could cover that with the custard. So I'm kind of looking forward to this one. I think it will be okay. Let's just make sure I can actually sniff it. Yeah, so 6% rhubarb matter custard. Yeah, it is an obvious choice. Exactly, rhubarb and custard, especially from Yorkshire, being the rhubarb sort of rhubarb capital, the rhubarb triangle they call it, of towns between, I think it's near Knaresborough, Wetherby. I said it as a quiz question a few quizzes ago, and I can't remember what the other towns are. Batley, I think. Batley, Wetherby, and it might even be Knaresborough, where Turning Point are. So yeah, for a Yorkshire brewery, and obviously many Yorkshire breweries do a rhubarb beer, usually with custard. Certainly, Northern Monk did one. So yeah, it's natural choice. But again, they do like to change it up, so they've waited to do it. I think it would have been a little bit out of season for Yorkshire rhubarb, so I don't know what they used. I should imagine when just coming around to Yorkshire to rhubarb season, unless they grow it all year round, because they force grow rhubarb, don't they? Put it in the dark, give it some light, and let it grow towards the light. Cheers, Kevin. Thanks for popping in, Shark. Oh, I did see your comment on Instagram. Didn't get a chance to reply before coming in. I don't think Slurpy Dave's got anything to worry about with that joke. But always good to get some response. Right, let's see what this rhubarb and custard pale ale is like. Oh, nice. Yeah. Real fruity number on the nose. Definite kind of vanilla custard background. Yeah, smells good. Doesn't smell too tart or it's kind of a little bit of sour note, but it's definitely tartness with rhubarb rather than particularly sour, but it's there or thereabouts. Let's go in. Cheers. Oh, I'll tell you what. I hope Turning Point would take this as a compliment. That is Vault City-esque levels of beer production. It's got that kind of voluptuous, almost sorbet-like kind of ice lolly note about it. It's got that tartness from the rhubarb. I think Vault City would make an actual sour out of it. I'm sure they've done a rhubarb and custard crumble sour at some stage. It doesn't need to be sour. I'm pleased it's not an out-and-out sour. Just got that kind of tartness about it rather than being out-and-out sour. Really nice. Like I say, Vault City. Maybe that's a collab for next year. Just an idea. I couldn't have more than one at a time. It's a lovely rhubarb taste, but too intense. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's definitely very Vault City-like. I wouldn't say it was too intense. It definitely is fairly intense. It's got that kind of, that tart note. Slurpy is the king of the one-liners. I try. I appreciate the efforts, sir. I appreciate the efforts. And I haven't sworn yet. I left that to Hopper because he does the swearing. So there was a little bit of sweariness on there. So yes, I did cuss you tard. I thought it was very good, very clever. A little bit too, possibly a little bit too clever for some people, but yeah, I liked it. It made me chuckle. That's not the one. It made I laugh, but I think that's more in a Lancastrian accent, and I can't determine the two. But yeah, no, this, yeah. Not quite as challenging maybe on the taste buds for me because I like the flavours. But yeah, definitely nice tartness, big, thick, voluptuous body. Super refreshing, nicely cold. It's been in the fridge all afternoon. So not too cold, but nice. A little bit of sherbet, a little bit of zingy kind of sherbetness. I don't think rhubarb sherbet is actually a thing, is it? But that's what I'm getting there. A little bit of sherbety buzz on the edge. In a way, it's almost more voluptuous than the regular custard. That was soft and pillowy. This has got, like I say, much more that Vault City edge. Paul, good evening to you, sir. Thanks for popping in. And good to see you at the weekend, even though you made me buy more beers I didn't need, but I just wanted. That was quite funny. Mentioned you in yesterday's show, drinking that Vocation white chocolate stout, which they didn't say was a white stout. And it reminded me of, unless it only occurred to me this morning, I was doing a write-up, unless I've got the wrong beer somehow, they put, like, there's been a canning error and they put the wrong beer, they haven't put an actual stout in it. But it very much reminded me of that Fierce beer, Iron Brew beer, not an Iron Brew sour, but an Iron Brew beer. So yeah, I picked a can of that up from Paul. So much appreciated. Some good beers in the fridges as ever, and Creative Juice's new stout, milk stout, which I think was lovely, and it was lovely. Just very difficult after that Iron Brew beer to kind of separate some of the flavours. So I picked up a can, and we'll have a look at that another time at some point. But yeah, cheers for that. It was a good afternoon, good chats in the sunshine. Hopefully the sunshine continues. A little bit gassy, a little bit of fizz on it, not a problem. Maybe it's just because I'm chucking it down quickly, but it is so easy to chug. I could say that sorbet-like kind of, almost going towards strawberry mivvy in a way, but with rhubarb. But it does feel like a little bit of strawberry in there as well. A little bit of other kind of other fruits. I don't know why I'm looking at the can. I'm not looking at the bottom of the can because I say I only bought them last month. You're talking rhubarb. Right. That's what we do on YouTube, Turning Point. That's what we do. A whopping addition of fresh rhubarb added to our custard pale to make a new twist on a Turning Point classic. Yeah, so much more red matter custard than pink matter custard, to be fair. Oh, here's a good one. I hadn't noticed this. This is interesting, for me anyway. Apart from all the usual stuff, oats and lactose, fair play, bound to be. Hops, don't say what hops they, but I can't imagine there's a lot. Because there's not really a lot of bitterness to it or anything. Maybe there's some aroma hops in there, I don't know. Obviously rhubarb, vanilla, and ginger. I can't really specifically pick out the ginger. Maybe that's that little sparkle, that little sherbety sparkle that I mentioned earlier. I mean, rhubarb and ginger are very definitely a thing. Not necessarily so much with custard, but I don't know. Maybe that's that kind of that sparkle, that sherbety sparkle edge. Now I think about it, maybe there is some there. It works really well. It's that little buzz on the tongue, that little, yeah, really interesting. I don't know now it feels like it's psychosomatic because I've read about it. I can get the ginger, but it's very, very background. Maybe it's just background late developing. I don't know. A lovely beer, again quite sweet, but I say balanced by that, tempered by that slight tartness. It's one I could go back to. I say obviously I've got doubles of all of these. I've still got another one of last year's Yellow Matter to get through. I think probably of the 4 years, the 4 different variations of this, and I think for the first 2 years, Pink Matter Custard was the same with the raspberry. I think this is possibly the best version of Pink Matter Custard. I won't go back and play what I said last time because they were largely different beers, or rather different flavors. So we've had raspberry, we've had cherry, we've had rhubarb. I don't know what the next one to go with custard is, the kind of vaguely red. I'd love to see dragon fruit. That would be a mental Pink Matter Custard. What else is there left? Red currant. What other red fruits are there? Don't say tomato. That's not going to work. Knowledge is knowing that tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is not putting it in a fruit salad or a custard beer. Maybe they'll just rotate through again and go back to raspberry, or maybe amp up the raspberries. But yeah, that'd be interesting. A Vault City collab would be very, very lovely. I hope they wouldn't make it into like a sour if they did Vault City. I hope they get Vault City down and do. Don't know. Yeah, that's really difficult, that one, because it's got those Vault City vibes. No, not Animal Blood. Animal Blood and Custard. No, that is only available. Should only be seen on trains from the 1960s. And if you know about trains, you'll know what I'm talking about. Blood pudding beer. Yes, I don't think so. I can't see that one. As much as I love a good blood pudding or black pudding, I'm not putting it with custard just because it's called pudding. So no, very much no. Mark Jones, good evening to you, sir. Thanks for popping in. Hope you're having a jolly Tuesday tipple. No problems if you're not. Let us know what you're drinking if you are. Yeah, so rhubarb matter custard, rhubarb custard pale, lovely flavors, really nice fruit notes, really nice custard background. Yorkshire pudding, it's a thing. I've done it. It's a beer. The Yorkshire Pudding Beer Co. put Yorkshire puddings in their beer, allegedly. So it's got to shoot. Thanks again for the plug. Catch you soon. Yeah, cheers, Hopper. I'll come back and watch it after the event if you're around. See what you missed out with the Caribbean Matter Custard Tropical Stout next up. But yeah, cheers, Hopper. I'll put a link to his video on his channel in the description after the event. So go check out Hopper and what he made of these beers himself. Cheers, Hopper out. Yeah, 2 really good beers again for me, much like yesterday. Really enjoying this little session. Aided, of course, by you guys popping in with comments. Apart from this comment, of course, I'm having a cheeky, I can't say it, Mark. I'm sorry. Yeah, well, fair play, whatever. Unless it's an old brew. If it's an old brew from Heineken, fair play, because I've drunk that. It was nice on a train in Holland. Yeah, I'm washing it down too quickly because it's really, really nice. There is that slight savoury kind of edge there. Well, do you know what? I'm kind of inclined to agree with you. As a soft southerner, I've got northern sensibilities. A lot of my beer comes from Yorkshire. Obviously I always use the hashtag Yorkshire beers. Even some beers that are very, very un-Yorkshire-like necessarily, but in craft beer terms they are. But yeah, I'm down as much as I take the mickey out of Mark for being Leeds. Yeah, I love Yorkshire. It's a great place, and there is a lot of good stuff comes out of there. But yeah, these beers, one of them, I'm a big I don't know. Am I a fan? I suppose of. I think I'm a fan of Turning Point. I think that's fair to say. I've had a lot of their beers. I might go back in a bit and have a look at what I missed because they've got another beer out this week, I believe. Yeah, let's have a quick look. I know I've looked at the Turning Point website almost every time, really. It's only to check that I haven't got anything, haven't missed anything. But here we are. This is a Disco Royalty box there that Hopper featured earlier in the show. For 20 quid, sounds like a good deal, to be fair. I don't do that, mostly because I'll just go and get the beers because I see their announcements most a lot. I'm really annoyed about that hard pivot. I said that last time I looked on the thing. Reality and Motion was what they announced this week, the Australian Pale. The 1895 Mild 5 points collab. I have got that. I did get that in with this beer. And I think I'm probably going to do again because I haven't planned it very well. I'll do another mild. Disco Goes Mild in May. But over the next couple of weeks, I haven't had a beer order in for a couple of weeks. So I'll probably pick up another couple of milds and hopefully do that at the end of the month because I did it last year. The Yellow Matter Custard, sadly, is out of stock. But the Rhubarb Matter Custard at 5.20 a can is still available. As is Caribbean Matter Custard coming up in a minute. Oh, that was what they said. Major Marcel, 8.1% double IPA with howling hops. Kind of getting slightly into double IPAs, but I'll have to look at the hop note on that to see whether it's worth me taking a gamble. Let's do that now. Brewed at howling hops. No more information on that. A bit annoying. Major Marcel, 8.1%. Can't see the hop. I'll have to look into that a bit more closely. Might also see if it's a Turning Point. See the barrel age stuff there that they've got. Again, I think they just do barrel age stuff really well. I've got a good barrel aging program. Where have you gone? There you are. Mr. V, thanks for popping in. Hope you're having a good week, even though it's only Tuesday. Yeah. It's a new season next season. See how you get on. I know which of those two teams is getting relegated, and it probably isn't us. You know what I'm saying? We've got an easier job, of course, but right, okay. So yeah, down at the bottom of the glass, really enjoyed that one. Like I say, great Vault City notes on that tartness, or that oatiness and that sweetness, little zing. Maybe that is the ginger in there. So easy to bosh down, especially cold. Cheers, all. Oh, nose is playing silly buggers again, so I'm gonna have to clear it before I get into this one. But oh yeah, that was the beer that the one from Hopper that he featured from that video of mine, the Palpatine, bourbon barrel aged, peach plum and charred nectarine Beechwood Imperial Stout. That was the original version, and that's the barrel aged version. Now I've yet to put that up. I'll do that in a bit. Mark has a beard. Nothing wrong with beards. Don't fear the beard. You know what I mean? I'm fine with beards, but I never thought Mark. I would never picture Mark as having a beard. But what do I know? Do I like Vault City sours? I don't go mad for them because I'm not mad on sours. But every now and again, when I try one, and the Vault City ones I've tried have generally been pretty good, which is why I compare it to that. Got that. I love that voluptuousness. I love it when they've got like. I love it when it's not too sour, but it's got that tart note, and it's a bit kind of sorbet-like, and it's really pulpy, fruity kind of. So yeah, I'm fine with Vault City sours. I've still got that blackcurrant one in, which is troubling me because I don't really like blackcurrant. but that could be good. I've still got the gingerbread one, so I don't try enough of their Imperial stouts. Maybe I should, but yeah, on the whole, I like Vault City sours. I just don't go mad for every single one of them because there's sort of too many in a way. Hasn't lived a pirate life. I don't have a grey beard that catches food. There you go. No, I'll give it a trim in this kind of weather. Do you know what I mean? Vault City one's a great one, not too say exactly. Yeah, maybe a little sweetness, a lot of sweetness. I'm fine with. I don't exactly. Yeah, me too. I always try them. And they always sound really good, but when they're too sour, it has to be a balanced sourness. And I think on the whole, Vault City get that balance between sourness and sweet really right. Do bear with me just a second. Thank you for that, because I couldn't breathe for a second there. Let's not meet up at balance brewing if you don't like a real sour. Yeah. Yeah, I think Vault City get the sour right, the balance right, funny enough, as we talk about that. Anyway. Oh, I'll tell you what I forgot to do. Look. Totally forgot to change the banner down the bottom. So I've missed that for the first one for Yellow Matter Custard. So there's the Rhubarb Matter Custard one. But that's for first for a long while, forgetting to change the banner. It doesn't matter, you know what I'm talking about anyway. But let's move swiftly on to beer number 3, please. And then immediately change the banner as it comes up. There we go. To this little can of immenseness. They've started going into 330 cans for the Imperial Stout. After the Northern Monk collab they had, it was a 9%. Dark matter custard, they used to call it. Again, they've started changing this one around. I've no problem with that. That's fine. They did also do a 14% dark matter custard the year before last. I'm not even sure it was barrel aged, but that was in a 440, and I'm not sure you need 14% beer in a 440 can. So I'm fine with the 330. Especially as it's essentially a school night. I'm going into work tomorrow, even though I've been pretty much off all day today. But yeah, 11%, a tropical stout. So I'm not sure how this quite works. I'm going to look into it in a minute. It's a collab with Siren, which I forgot to put on the thing, but there you go. Caribbean Matter Custard, Chocolate Custard Imperial Tropical Stout. Now, I've not had this base version from Siren for this, so if you have, do let me know. And I'm looking at David Wilson. Yes, exactly. In my opinion, this is Siren's Cambrian chocolate with added vanilla for the custard. It's lovely. Yeah, fair play. When you've got a beer as good as what Siren do, and in my opinion, as good as what Turning Point do, why not combine them? Oh, fuck. Did you see that? I've just covered my laptop screen, and I don't know how it's gone that way when it's facing this way. Bear with me a sec. Oh, before it drips down onto the key. I think I've missed the keyboard. But yeah, I've got lovely black drops on my laptop screen now. So let me get that sorted out. There you go. Which means a thick, gloopy... What's the term? What's the equivalent term of hazy boy for like thick, gloopy stout? A gloopy boy? I don't know. Yeah. Still got a bit of thinness, but pours into the glass fairly thick and gloopy with a really good kind of bubbly head. I don't know if that's not a bit too fizzy, but let's see. We'll do the photo. So I'm just looking for the comment way back where I'm sure Dave Wilson said photo reminder. There we go. Yeah, it was a long time ago when I started talking about this beer, wasn't it? Right, let's do that anyway. Put this Laptop's cleaned down a bit and hope there's nothing left to drip onto the keyboard. Yeah, it looks good in the glass. It's bound to, isn't it, really? Let's see if that is... Oh, yeah. No, we're good. First time on that. Superb. Nicely focused. Happy days. Just don't cut into the drinking time. Let me get straight onto it. So, as soon as we can focus. This one, focus. Hello. That's better. Slowly, anyway. Yeah. That sounds too sweet. Like I say, I've not found a beer that's too sweet yet, even a stout. There is no such thing as a beer that's too sweet. I quite like it. I can understand that people don't know. This only kettle sour has currently got a spontaneous beer fermenting, and it's been doing so for 15 months. Far out. I thought you said slipper for a minute. No, it's a beautiful sipper. Well, let's find out. See the alcohol legs and that and the lacing already. Just tipping that bowl glass. I always tend to put Impy stouts into a big bowl glass like that. All right, bear with me a sec. I feel that I need to properly clear my nose out to get whatever those aromas are. Do bear with me a second. Just enjoy the beautifulness of these cans. I'm not sure that's worked, but only got a big old hooter like mine. So a little bit of dissipation on the head there, but it's still got that kind of dark tan, creamy rim around the edge. Yeah, there's some beer legs on that. There's some lacing on it. Looking good. I'll get a bit of head retention back on that. We'll give it a little swirl. I don't like swirling beers that are full because I'll often overtop it far too easily and then I get a big sticky, gloopy bit down the bottom. Key lime pie, kettle sour, fair play. That's something I've seen a couple of key lime pie sours around recently. Sake. In your slippers, M&S. I'm putting a box together for disco. Oh, cool. It's got my blackberry kettle sour. Ah, okay. Lemon and pink pepper saison. Yeah, I've tried one of those. Abbeydale did one, and I think it was a collab with Queer Brewing. Had a pink peppercorn saison. That interests me because it's different. And yeah, blackberry kettle sour, that'd be very interesting because I think we'll do that again this year at the brewery. We missed out last year because we never got around to picking enough wild blackberries. And I think the year before we did it, we had far too much and we had to use, again, we didn't get a chance to pick any. We've got a lot of blackberries around the farm and the woods and stuff. It's just a case of time required to pick enough. So we just got some blackberry puree in. But it was a very popular beer, and I will press that we do it again this year. Yeah, blackberries I love, less so in a sour, but you do get the odd blackberry that's sour and tart and works. So yeah, cheers for that, Mr. B. I'm looking forward to that. That sounds good. Fair play, Mark. No worries. Down to Portsmouth and Poole in the morning. Endorse it. Yes, I highly recommend it. It's a lovely place. Well, Poole is, not so much Portsmouth. But fair play. Nice little journey. Good on you. Caribbean, will it have molasses? I don't think it does. But that's a good shout. Let's have a little check. Right, I can't smell a lot. There's a little bit of vague chocolatey cakeness there going on. But anyway, yeah, cheers. Let's see what we got. Oh. Oh. Yeah, David Wilson is right. It is a bit of a sipper. Absolutely immense at 11%. It's got that barrel ageness. They don't say what the barrel was, whether it was bourbon or whatever. I think they have a lot of ex-bourbon barrels knocking about. Yeah, a real kind of chocolate gatto cakiness going on. I'm not sure about the tropical because there's not a massive fruit note to it. What was that beer I had the other week? It was a really fruity Imperial Stout. I can't remember what it was now, but yeah, no, it's good. It's great. Absolute cakey goodness. It feels like there's a little bit of savouriness, a little bit of kind of peppery kind of edge as well. For some reason, like I say, I've never tried the Siren one, the Caribbean chocolate cake. I only ever got one of last year's Siren Caribbean chocolate cake, and I say that's the white stout. I just picked up randomly because it was there. Really picked up from the Dodo. But yeah, yeah, phenomenal, absolutely beautiful. Just really voluptuous. Definitely very gatto cake heavy. Feels like a little bit of salinity as well to like balance that sweet. Oddly, I don't think it's as sweet as say the other two with that vanilla. It's kind of those big chocolate dark malts, black malts, kind of really balance out the sweetness in a way. And it's delicious, delightful. It's a big beer, definitely a bit of a sipper. Let's have a look at this molasses thing. I suspect maybe that's a tropical stout with like the fruitiness, but I can't get a lot of fruitiness. I'm not sure what the fruit content is really. Right, what they say is brewed in collaboration with Siren. This Imperial Stout brings together the best of both our worlds. Oh, yes, I remember hearing this story now. Sorry, right. Fusing Ambrulana wood spirals, a special liquid cacao blend, and a handful of spices, you'll find Siren's legendary Caribbean chocolate cake beers and our usual big stout silliness intertwined. Yeah, they don't say what the spices are. No oats in it, so it's not an oat stout. Wheat, lactose, cacao, sugar, spices, hops, and yeast. Aren't too forthcoming with the details, but yeah. So there's no actual fruit component to it. So the tropical stout is a little bit not misleading because when you think of tropical, maybe you think of tropical fruits. I was expecting some kind of pineapple, mango kind of fruitiness, and that's not what it's about. It's more about the spices, and that's probably what I say about that kind of slight savoury component to it. Yeah, cheers, Mark. Yes, that's right. So, Amburana wood spirals. Siren have done that thing. I think they're sort of. I don't know if they were kind of leading in the craft world with putting wood into beers. So it's like a barrel aged thing where you put whatever your chosen wood is in the fermenter, and it just has those kind of tannins from the wood. So we got a couple of beers where we did that. The Beaver has got a willow bark in it, and also the original version had half a dozen oak blocks that had been cut off the bar that we put in, which was off of a big slice of oak that had been seasoned for like years, that had been cut down off the back of it in the woods behind the farm. But Siren have sort of taken that to the next level with various different woods they put in the beer that infuses that kind of slight so like the tannin, the the bitterness of the tannins rather than a hot bitterness. It's like the tannins from the wood give it a certain woody kind of bitterness. So I know what they mean. I've no idea what Amburana wood is. I'm guessing it's like a Caribbean tree. I don't know where the spirals. I guess they've just put it on a lathe and carved it out, as opposed to putting it in the blocks that we did. But yeah, really interesting. Interested to know the spices. Spices do bother me a bit like Marmite. I can't get any specific spices, but I suspect it's probably a bit of cinnamon, probably a bit of clove, and I can't think off the top of my head of like some kind of more Caribbean spices. I did say a slight pepperiness, didn't I? So that's the spice note. Slight savouriness. It's delightful. It's delicious. It is a little odd in that there is so much less sweetness around it that you'd maybe expect. Wood, oh, so the Amberula wood is known for giving spirits a certain cinnamon, floral, tropical, and vanilla flavour, which is odd because I think I put vanilla. Did I say vanilla as well? Yeah, but it's nice. It's got a slight kind of dark wood feel about it, almost a kind of not quite smoky, leathery kind of tobacco type note, but a kind of, yeah. There's no real cinnamon particularly, but that does bounce off the vanilla and the sweetness a little. Yeah, it feels... There is a little bit of fruit on the very, very back end after that kind of spice note. And it's odd because I can't particularly... How the beer's going. Yeah, like I say, this one, really odd, really odd. Not odd in a bad way. It's got that initial chocolate gatto kind of note. Then it goes kind of like chocolatey goodness, cakiness. Not so much on the chocolate, that cacao blend. But I say that kind of slight spice note is there, but it's not indistinct because it's very definitely there, but I can't pick out individual spices particularly. May come out more. Yeah. My last 50 minutes. So I very specifically didn't put this one in the fridge, obviously, unlike the two pails. This was just in the beer stash, in the cool cupboard, just because I was kind of hyper aware at 11% it didn't need to be particularly cooled, and see what those tropical notes were. So yeah. No, fair play. Same as Mark Jones. Don't worry. I do these things on a school night because I don't have to be up massively early in the morning. I do have to go to work. I've been off all day. Monday and Tuesday are kind of my weekend, so this is almost like a Sunday night to me. Just because of my kind of work schedule, working at a brewery. And I don't think we're brewing tomorrow, so I don't think I've got to be massively early tomorrow. I think it's packaging day tomorrow. I'm a lucky boy. I don't have to get up early, which is good because I'm shit at getting up early. Although I did today for other reasons. But yeah. So yeah, beers on a school night for me. I appreciate that nobody, other people aren't particularly. But yeah, this is nice. I could ramble on, mumble on, ad infinitum all night. Say Dave Wilson said he's lasted 15 minutes. I can see that because it is so deliciously, delectably drinkable, even 11%. Every sip, you're looking for those kind of notes, that spiciness. Really, really, yeah. Yeah. I put my hands up. I'm a little bit, have kind of stumbled into, yeah. Even a 10 o'clock start tomorrow is a bit early, but yeah. But also, I do late finishes, so, and also I work weekends and slinging beers. But yeah, no, I'm really good with that. Yeah, no, that just that wouldn't happen. Maybe once a week. I could not do that on a daily basis. There is no reason why I'd want to do that, and I appreciate anybody who does. Fair play. I say I'm a very, very lucky man in that I get stumbling to work about 10, sometimes 11. But yeah, like I say, the flip side of that is a fairly late finish, and I'm fine with a 7 or 8 o'clock finish generally. It doesn't impinge into my evening particularly. And I'm working weekends, like most Saturdays, occasional Sundays or Saturdays, and now Friday night. So yeah, it is swings and roundabouts, but I'm fine with it. Swing and roundabouts, like say, horses for courses, really. I had a nice toasty, followed by another toasty whilst enjoying the beers. Well, I live see lots of foxes in the morning. Yeah, even in my kind of urban setting, there's quite a few foxes around here. Not in my garden because I think the cats are used to them anymore. But over the road, I see a lot of foxes where I work, as well as other animals. To be fair, in the countryside, cool. So I work in the countryside essentially, even though it's suburban London, because it's kind of an urban farm. Just the other side of the train line from the motorway, and you can't really hear either, especially in the summer with everything out in the trees. So I see a lot of wildlife, a daily dose of wildlife, even though I live in kind of the edge of London, to be fair. But yeah, I guess where you are, even more so. Love a bit of country, like I say, soft southerner, urbanite. Lived in London all my life, apart from when I've moved out and come away. So I love a bit of Tut North as well as Tut South. Love a bit of Dorset, love a bit of coastline. But I am a city boy at heart. I'm not a city boy, I'm a suburban boy. But yeah, where I work is suburban, but that little oasis of calm and treat birdsong. Birdsong, you can mostly hear the occasional aircraft. So yeah, getting there at 10 o'clock in the morning is, I mean, if you go up there early, you get dawn chorus and all that, it'd be great. But I feel it's 11%. I was going to say, I feel it's 11 o'clock beer. It's 11% beer is knocking me sideways, but I'm fine with that. Really nice, absolutely beautiful. Fair play. Cheers, Jamie. Thanks for popping in. Catch you next time. Have a great week. What was that? That was something different. There was a little bit of jam and a little bit of some other spice. I'm not sure what that was. Is it warming up? Maybe get some different spice notes to it. There's a little bit of coconut in there, it feels. Yeah, there's a more fruity content come through there now. Was it raspberry jam, strawberry jam? Do you know what I just suddenly thought? And again, this is the 11% talking. Back in school canteen. Do you remember that kind of jam-topped coconut sprinkle sponge and custard? That's what I suddenly got in that mouthful. There's a bit of nostalgia for you. So there's a little bit of drying note from the wood, I guess, that makes me think a bit of coconut husks. Not coconut flavor so much, but that kind of dry Sabro type note. Let's have a quick look. I should have done this before on Turning Point, see if they've got a bit more information about it. No, it's the same as on the can. Cacao, sugar, spices, hops, and yeast. Turning Point are really generally really good with information. Like I say, the can wrap where you've got the brewery logo, brewery name, beer style, and percentage generally on the front of the cans. But they do slightly, like I said the other day, where I'm looking on a brewery website and I see all the other information. like what the malt is, what the hops are, and in this case, what the spices are. So yeah, a little bit lacking in that department in a way, but like that is that. Yeah, it was, and I'm sure a few breweries have done beers relating to that as well. Desiccated coconut. Sorry, excuse me on the sniffing. Oh, nose again. Bear me a second. Do you know what we had? I just thought we've had 2 days of really good beer on stream. I have. I don't know if you guys have had these ones, but I've had 6 beers this week. Of each one has brought something different, something unusual, some complexity, some challenges, and this one I keep going back and finding those kind of spice notes. And I think again as it warms, and again as I said yesterday, the stream last week with those M&S beers, I wasn't that fussed either. I could barely scrape an hour's worth of Yabra to it. Like this one and yesterday, well past the hour. I haven't even noticed I've been chapping on for about an hour. But that's because these beers have got so much content to them. They're just nice for me anyway. The sweetness is not for everyone. It is for me. The fruit content I like the rhubarb amount of custard, like I say, that Vault City vibe going on this Siren collab. As it warms, I think I find more stuff, so I need to sit back and just chill for a bit, see what else I can find. But yeah, 3 really decent beers. Another win day on beer. Hurrah! Exactly. Yeah, beer winnings. Doesn't always happen like this. Sometimes you crack a beer and you go, not sure about that. I was on fairly safe ground with these ones because apart from the middle one, I kind of knew what I was getting. And even the middle one, you pretty much knew where I was going to be at with it. But yeah, I'm pleased that I found a lot to say about it. I found a lot of really nice notes. This one, as it warms, will get different. I like the woody notes to it, those kind of tanniny bitterness. Just a really good Tuesday tipple. Helped, I think, in part by you guys just rocking up and chucking comments at me. It's like drinking in a pub without being in a pub. You know what I mean? It's just like if you've got a beer on as well, that helps. Which is why I kind of continue to do this stuff, I guess, because I enjoy it. I enjoy talking about beer. I'm not good at many things, driving and talking about beer, drinking beer, but not at the same time. I carry on. I'm not sure if I'm doing one tomorrow, because I'm not sure what I'm doing work-wise and whether I'll get away in time. I haven't got anything lined up, so it's either tomorrow or Thursday evening. Or maybe if I'm not sure if I'm off Thursday or Friday yet because life's complicated. But anyway, we shall see. We shall see. I'd like to do 3 a week because I'd like to carry on this possibility of. I have got another one lined up, but I've also got a video out to support and haven't edited it yet, so that might go to next week. I'm pleased I got this one out, even though I cancelled it last week. But yeah, that's the Custard Session. Happy birthday to Turning Point, you absolute legends. Once again, bringing out some amazing beers for me anyway. It's not to everyone's taste. I've still got a bunch of Turning Point beers to get through to do, so I will work out how I'm going to do those. But yeah, big props to Turning Point. Cheers, David Wilson. Thanks for popping in with the comments and reminders. And beer comparison shark. Thanks to you for popping in. Everybody else who's popped in for a comment for beer. And I'm sure you've all clicked likes already. Mr. B, of course. Thank you very much indeed with some great beer knowledge. I will see you either at some point again this week, and I don't do content over the weekends anymore because I'm just far too damn busy with one thing or another. So if I don't get another stream out, I'll see you probably Monday and Tuesday of next week for some more Monday Club and Tuesday Tipple action. I've got enough beers. Haven't done a beer order for a while, even though I picked up 4 beers yesterday. On Sunday from Paul. But yeah, that's it. That 11% beer is hitting, but I'm still going back for more, and I'm really, really enjoying it. Love those kind of woody notes. Love a big cakey, chocolatey, slightly leathery, slightly smoky stout. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful beers. Cheers, Turning Point. Let me do the end thing before I keep wanging on. Let's take that off for the end stream. Yeah, 11% Caribbean barrel aged Imperial. No, not barrel aged. Chocolate custard Imperial tropical stout. What a mouthful! And seriously, genuinely, what a mouthful. Cheers and enjoy the beers. See you again soon. Cheers all. Oh, nice. Can't find the outro. Here it is. Cheers all.